What makes the Uruguay Nordic Countries Chamber of Commerce special is that it brings together different countries in one place. We are integrated by Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, in addition to Uruguay. This openness to the different countries that make up our network fosters greater ties, development, and protection of foreign trade, linking our member companies with a greater number of entrepreneurs in different sectors of activity. Our mission is to develop and promote the commercial, economic, and cultural relations between our country and the Nordic countries. We do so distributing information on foreign trade, promoting, increasing, and expanding the commercial, industrial, and cultural exchange, facilitating the establishment of sustainable productive investments in Uruguay, and increasing the volume of exports from Uruguay to the Nordic countries. Why be a member of the Uruguayan Nordic Countries Chamber of Commerce? Because as an organization, we promote and watch over the interest of our associates. At the same time, we promote commercial exchange through an integrative management between local and foreign companies that make up the chamber. Our members are also represented before public agencies, as well as private and governmental entities, in order to expose and defend the interest of the business sector. Join us and become part of this dynamic network. Thank you.
Well, hi, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Carolina Moreira. I'm president of the Nordic Chamber, and I am accompanied by Mario Melotti, vice president, Gabriela Cetrangolo, and also other very important members of the Nordic Chambers, such as the councils, the honorary councils of Sweden and Finland, Leonardo Couto and Andrew Cooper, who are members of the Nordic Chamber. So thank you very much for being here. It has been a surprise for so many people to be joining. We were expecting something much more intimate, so that's very good news. But I also would like to ask you to mute your microphones whenever you're not speaking, so that we can have a better exchange. As you know, and the video was also telling, we are trying to promote Uruguay in the Nordic countries, and also promote Nordic countries' investments to come to Uruguay, which is something that we share a lot with the two Uruguayan agencies that are hosting this with us this morning. Uruguay Innovation Hub and Uruguay 21. So thank you, Sabrina, Sebastián, and the rest of the team who are joining us. We have recently signed with them MOUs because we share a lot of the same vocation to be able to bring these ties together between the Nordic Chamber and the Nordic countries. So thank you very much. And also we have other MOUs, in this case with Finland and Sweden, with Business Finland and Business Sweden. So we're going to be featuring Pia Numela and Jesper Bernhardsson. So thank you so much for being here. And well, this is us being kind of a bridge between these two worlds. So as we are trying to make, let's call it some matchmaking with investments, with innovations, understanding that the Nordic Chamber has this vocation of bringing in innovative things and also sustainable investments from the Nordics to Uruguay. Uruguay has been the recipient of many very successful investments from the Nordic countries. And so this is an idea to continue these steps of successful Nordic investments and to strengthen the bonds between the Nordics, which are a reference for Uruguay in many aspects, such as sustainable aspects, economic, social, and environmental, technological advances, innovative mindset, and the seriousness of the countries which we share. We see that there's a very There's a cultural affinity between Uruguay and the Nordic countries. We share kind of the same philosophy. And in Latin America, we can say that we are kind of a different country, and being so small, it's not always so well known in Europe in general and in the Nordic countries in particular. So we see that this is a very good opportunity to let people know Uruguay, and as it happens very frequently, to be amazed at what Uruguay can offer to investors and in terms of trade. So that's it. Thank you. So let us be a gateway for more investments coming from the Nordic countries into Latin America. We see that Uruguay is the best place, very humble, but we think that actually it's the best place to invest, to put your base in order to develop the rest of Latin America. So we really think, we really hope that you can profit from this event as much as possible. So without taking up so much time, I would like to give the word to Pia Numela, who is the representative from Business Finland. Thank you, Pia, for being here.
Thank you, Carolina, and thank you for the invitation to participate here. So very happy to be with you. So my name is Pia Numela. I'm Senior Advisor for Business Finland based in Santiago de Chile. And let me share my screen. And let's put it in there. Carolina, can you confirm that you can see it? Excellent, thank you. So I have a very short presentation on some of the key areas of interest for Finland. But before going into these potential key areas, I would like to have a few words on what is Business Finland in itself, since it might be that some of you do not know us. So our core mission is to increase Finland's prosperity and well-being by supporting Finland's competitiveness and sustainable economic growth, and also by promoting sustainable development. Finland has the objective of being carbon neutral already by 2035. And then, and of course, sustainable development is a core issue in that sense. We are part of the Ministry of Economy and Labor from Finland, and our core work is based on helping the Finnish companies in their internationalization. So in my case, in Latin America, and especially in Chile and to some extent in Uruguay. And then also we are an innovation funder, so we fund innovation in Finland. And then also I have colleagues who work on issues of investments and tourism to Finland. And we at Business Finland, we believe, so we are also a small country like Uruguay, but Finland, of course, has a lot of technological solutions. We are an innovative country, so we believe that Finland has an important role as a solver of global challenges. And I think that this is a good map to start thinking about key areas of interest for Finland. And based on global challenges, we analyze these together with a wide variety of relevant stakeholders for us. And based on that analysis, we identified the opportunities that these global challenges create. And then based on that, we selected these 5 entities to work more closely on as focus areas of Business Finland. And then based on this, so we have, for example, digitalization-based boost for productivity. So of course, digitalization touches all of the industries, and also it kind of like enables upheavals between and within them. And of course, based on the tradition of Nokia in Finland and then many other companies that have come before, during, and after, so digitalization is an important issue for us. Then we see that the demand for care and the burden of chronic care are growing at the same time as labor shortage worsens and resources become more limited. So these significant challenges require new innovations and technologies that make it possible to move towards more personal, preventive, and individual healthcare. So this delivering sustainable and preventive healthcare that will ensure the capacity of healthcare. Then, of course, carbon neutrality is an important issue. And we see that this transition to new forms of energy is a global challenge, and that beating climate change requires the development and utilization of carbon neutral energy solutions worldwide. So how to ensure a stable society with carbon neutral and resilient energy systems? And then the third one is zero waste and a circular economy, so that in order that we can continue to use natural material resources, we must be able to improve our resource efficiency. And in this sense, this is one of the issues that I will then dig a bit deeper into. And then the last one is merging of the physical and virtual worlds. So the fusion of physical and virtual reality offers new interfaces for services, industry, games, entertainment, and everyday experiences. And so how can we revolutionize the services industry and everyday life? So these are the first map on the focus areas that we have in Business Finland, and maybe there is something then on what could offer opportunities for further collaboration between Uruguay and Finland. But of course, when we think of the history between Finland and Uruguay, I think one key sector, of course, has been and will continue to be is bioeconomy and everything related to this. So, of course, Finnish companies have made important investments in the pulp and paper sector in Uruguay. And we see that, of course, there are still further opportunities in collaboration between Finnish and Uruguay companies in all the value chain that is related to the pulp and paper sector. And then also some recent issues that we have.
Junto por cualquier cosita que no sabía. Entonces,
Por favor, si es que se silencian el micrófono. Muchas gracias. Thank you. So, current issues that we have also been collaborating between Uruguay and Finland is related to wood construction. There has been a lot of public sector collaboration there and also some private sector. So we also see the further opportunities in this sector. And like I said, this issue of circular economy for us is very important. And Finland was actually, I believe, the first country in the world to make its own roadmap on circular economy. And Sitra, the future fund of Finland that is dependent on the parliamentary of Finland, they have been organizing since, I believe, 2017, this World Circular Economy Forum, every second year in Finland and then every second year in global locations. And I think what is very exciting is that next year this will be in Sao Paulo. This is the first time that the forum enters Latin America, offering an opportunity to strengthen the global collaboration and get businesses on board to build a circular economy future. So I think this is also one possibility for collaboration between Uruguay and Finland. And if you are interested, be attentive because the new web page for the 2025 forum will be launched soon. And for example, circular bioeconomy is one of the topics, transition materials, business and finance, and then people and education, and the plenaries that are more on issues that are common to different sectors. And then I would say that, of course, we need the energy transition to happen in order to be able to get into the carbon neutrality. And Finland has a lot of experience, for example, on digital metering. So 100% of the households in Finland are already on smart metering, and I believe that in Uruguay you are getting to the same objective by the end of year. So maybe smart grids could also be something, and everything related to the energy transition where Finland and Uruguay could collaborate. And then last, I think this is something we've been discussing a lot with Uruguay. We also have an MOU with Uruguay 21. So how could we collaborate as to innovation? Finland is one of the most innovative countries in the world. We have a lot of, for example, digital startups per capita. So we are number one in that. Home of various unicorns from various business sectors, for example, related to gaming, the business solution as solutions, fintech, and so on. And then, of course, we are home of the world's leading startup event, Slush, that will be this year in November. And we've also been discussing there to bring Uruguayan startups to visit Finland and attend Slush. But that is, in a nutshell, my presentation. I'm happy to then hear more on what are the opportunities that you have identified in Finland and how could we advance collaboration between Finland and Uruguay, and of course then also between Sweden and Uruguay, and maybe not even between the Nordic countries in general and Uruguay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pia. That was excellent. Amazing how many points in common we have. So it's great to hear you. Okay, we also have Jesper Bernhardsson, who's representing Business Sweden. So the floor is yours, Jesper.
Thank you, Carolina. Buenos días a todos. I think what we will do here is do a very, very similar presentation to what our sister organization, Business Finland, did. But first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks to the Chamber for organizing and everybody who is presenting and participating today. I would like to start with just briefly addressing what it is that we do as Business Sweden. In principle, we help Swedish companies grow global sales and international companies invest and expand in Sweden. And why do we do that? We do that for a very fundamental reason. Sweden today is a technological nation. We are, just like Finland and Uruguay, a small market. We don't have the consumer market nor the domestic capabilities to really service the business needs of all our Swedish companies. Hence, 50% or around 50% of the Swedish GDP is derived from exports. And interestingly, 50% of that is derived from foreign companies located in Sweden exporting from Sweden. So Sweden today is a very international market with a lot of global companies operating from Sweden. Business Sweden, as such, consists in a relatively dispersed group of people. We have our main office in Sweden, Stockholm, but we have offices across almost 40 countries here in our region. We have offices in Mexico City, in Bogota, Colombia, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and in Santiago, Chile, where I am based, overseeing the Southern Cone as the regional manager. Now, we are structured along the needs of the Swedish business community. So we have 3 industry groups focusing on transport and energy, materials and industrials, as well as healthcare and life sciences. I think also in our region, these are our focus areas. We have a large set of clients. We help around 3,000 clients annually through our local offices. Now, I think I'm doing here some marketing for the entire Nordic region. I think that's in place, considering the context of today's meeting. And I think what I'd like to point out here is really that the Nordic countries, have very high levels of innovation, robust, reliable infrastructure, and a very, very keen focus on sustainability. And I think this is very much reflected in what Swedish companies exporting can offer, but also what the Nordic ecosystem can offer in terms of incoming investments as an innovation, a place for innovation as a startup hub, just like Pia said, Finland performing very, very well in innovation. So just to give you an idea of the state of the nation. And then when it comes to Swedish capabilities, I think that Sweden has transitioned from a primarily agrarian society during the 1800s. Here are some examples of the companies still existing, but I think it's very easy to kind of see a trend here. If you look at, all the way over to the left, Holmen is a forest owner and management company. And during the 1800s, you see industrial machinery, telecommunications, mining equipment companies kind of reaching ascendancy. ABB, Scania, SKF. These are, to all extents, worldwide competitive companies in their respective fields. Moving into the 1900s, we have several other well-known companies, AstraZeneca within healthcare, Volvo within personal cars, of course, but also as Volvo Group, providing buses and trucks to various industries across the world. Also entering into the retail business with IKEA and H&M, kind of joining the group a bit further into the century. And then I think if we kind of fast forward into the 2000s, we see a lot of digital companies entering, both within fintech like Klarna, Spotify with streaming services, and then I think going even further towards the right, we see a lot of energy companies entering the field, participating or contributing to the green transition. And I think that is something that is very important in Sweden today. In the last few years, we have seen a lot of traditional companies really entering this field and investing a lot of R&D into creating greener, more sustainable solutions within transport, like Volvo. We have our transportation cluster in the far south of Sweden, but also more innovative, new, let's say, enterprise like Candela offering hydrofoils and boats running on battery, Heart Aerospace, etc. Nova Energy Gigafactory, a collaboration between Northvolt and Volvo to produce batteries. We see a similar tendency up in the far north of Sweden, where our traditional mining cluster is. We have LKAB and Boliden, for instance, two large Swedish mining companies investing in new methods to manage their operations in a more green, sustainable way. And I think one thing that is also noticeable from, regardless of which of the clusters that you're looking at, is that there are also a lot of foreign companies, Chinese companies certainly, entering Sweden. And I think the decision to do that is very much dependent on kind of the robustness of the ecosystem, the capability for innovation, the capacity that exists in Sweden to meet with high demands that global companies have. But I think the key point here for me is really to suggest that within this field and others, Swedish companies and the Swedish ecosystem is very much interested in taking the opportunity to collaborate with similar-minded partners across the world, and Uruguay is certainly no exception. I'm really looking forward to hear about the opportunities that exist for Swedish companies in Uruguay, and similarly to see to discuss if opportunities exist for Uruguayan companies in Sweden. I think I will round up here, but I'm happy to take any questions, and I certainly hope to continue the discussion. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jesper. That was very enlightening. It's amazing to see that timeline and how that transformation happened. And we clearly see that there are areas of opportunity to develop Latin America through Uruguay. So, well, here comes Sebastián Rizzo, who's leading Uruguay 21, which is the main organization to promote investment and commerce from foreign companies in the country, and can tell you all the details about why Uruguay is the place to be when thinking about expansion of these Swedish and Finnish companies.
Good morning. Thank you, Carolina. Thank you to the Chamber for the invitation. As Carolina mentioned, we signed a few weeks ago an MOU with the Nordic Chamber, and well, I think this is the first thing we're doing together already with the MOU signed. Sabrina from Uruguay Innovation Hub has signed the MOU as well, so we are in the same picture. Together with Sabrina, we prepared a presentation, okay, to do it together. I will talk a little bit at the first time, then Sabrina, and I will finish it, okay. Very impressive to know about, well, Finland and Sweden. We will see in our presentation that, well, both countries have lots to do here in our country. Do you see the presentation there? Karina, yes, tell me. It's okay? Yeah? Okay. Let's do a picture of Uruguay right now. Okay, we split our value proposition in two, both sustainable production and global services, which is a sector that in the last 15 years has grown a lot. In terms of production, we do take care a lot about production, but in a sustainable way. Okay, we are a agribusiness country. Our exports come almost 50% from the agribusiness. And this year, the Nordic countries had a lot to do because the cellulose we are forecasting that cellulose will be the #1 export product, okay, changing 300 years of history of this country. And well, we know the Nordic countries has got a lot to do in the development of this industry here in Uruguay. Almost 30% of our exports come from global services. There you see other manufacturers and tourism that we will talk a little bit. Last year, we did a survey among the international companies settled here. We asked them about our, well, business climate, what they found here. And 84% of the foreign companies already settled here in Uruguay answered that our business climate is or satisfactory or very satisfactory, okay? And within those 84%, we asked them what were the main reasons why investing in Uruguay, the best thing we have here. And #1, and for far, it's reliability and certainties, okay? There is this rule of law, the stability, the transparency, everything. Then appears this easiness for doing business, talent, lifestyle, incentives, but those in a second position, okay? Here's some example of global companies, enterprises using Uruguay as a hub, both as production or as a service provider. There we can see some Nordic companies using Uruguay. For instance, I see from Jesper, he mentioned AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca has a very important regional distribution center here for their pharmaceutical products. But in production, of course, UPM, Stora Enso have a very strong presence here. Reliability, Uruguay, #1 leading in terms of democracy, low corruption perception, rule of law in the region. And if you were a European country, well, the Nordic countries in terms of democracy, the Nordic countries together with Luxembourg and Switzerland and Netherlands, and there appears, well, globally will appear New Zealand and then Uruguay together with Canada, okay? So we are a very plain democracy here, as you may know, the rule of law, the corruption indexes. This is a very nice picture I like, as if we were a European country, okay? The stability comes because we have a very big middle class here in Uruguay, okay? This is the Gini index, the income distribution among the population. We have the highest income per capita, but very well distributed among the population. That's why we have this very big middle class. More than 10 years of consecutive investment grade with the lowest country risk in the region. This is very important when, well, financing or asking for loans, much more cheaper than in other countries here in the region. You have already mentioned it. Yes, renewables here is very important. 99% right now of our electricity comes from renewables. But not only that, we take care of our native forests, which are growing. The 12 million cattle we have here, they will eat grass from natural pastures, okay, with no deforestation. We have this H2, this green hydrogen roadmap 2040, where Europe appears as a very important partner of us. And well, we may talk about it in another opportunity. In terms of ESG, the government is pushing a lot in that sense. In terms of environment, social, and governance, this kind of race the world is on, so as to get investment from different funds. Well, we are very well located as a European, North American country, together with Chile in the region. Okay, since 1996, we have this investment law where it's an equal treatment for foreign and local investments. Okay, no local counterpart required. So a Swedish company may have a Uruguayan company here with no need to have a Uruguayan partner there. No restriction for the repatriation of profits. Although we have that no restriction, 40%, something like 40% of our FDI, are reinvestments of foreign companies here. So it shows the trust foreign companies has in the country. The free foreign exchange market, we may invoice in US dollars, euros, pesos, whatever currency you may want to. In terms of for services, we have this time zone between Europe and the US, so it's very well used by international companies using Uruguay as a hub for delivering services to both continents. We have trade agreements, and we will see about these multimodal solutions for Uruguay as a regional distribution center. Okay, in terms of communication, again, we are leaders in the region in terms of internet penetration, optical fiber, speed, internet speed, and whatever. We are very, very well positioned. Talent. This is very important. Since 2007, we have this CEIBAL, which started as a 1 laptop per child program, the first country to fully implement it, but now it's much more than that. It's a e-learning program, let's say. The country is already exporting this know-how we have because, well, students are working and studying in for instance, a teacher kilometers away in English, in Portuguese, in robotics, in projects, everything. It's very, very, very well used. In terms of multilingual, well, large population of people speaking English, but an important amount of population speaking Portuguese as well, which is very important for the Brazilian market. 200 million people we have right across the border here. Here in Uruguay 21, we support foreign companies. We may subsidize up to 70% of their costs in training, these finishing schools. We have this Smart Talent portal where companies may do their job offers. We may help expats with the visas or residence permits. Okay, we have this fast track. We have this Live in Uruguay portal where expats may find all information for living and moving into Uruguay. Before giving the word to Sabrina, the tech ecosystem, which is very robust here, very important. Almost 65% of the turnover of Uruguayan IT companies comes from exports, being the US and UK, our main markets. We're not only exporting IT services, but IT products, as is shown there at the picture. So Uruguay had this important tech ecosystem, which turned us to be from a business hub or tech hub into an innovation hub. And there's appears since last year this Uruguay Innovation Hub program that Sabrina leads, and I will let her continue with the presentation.
So hello, everybody. My name is Sabrina, as Sebastian mentioned. I'm the Executive Director of Uruguay Innovation Hub, which is a very new program, a national program that seeks to propel Uruguay to the forefront of the knowledge economy. That means we've been receiving startups funds and corporates from abroad to establish in Uruguay because they saw the benefits of Uruguay. We've been receiving them organically, but now with this program, we want to foster this idea and to make really Uruguay as an innovation hub. So first, I'm going to show you, we have 3 prioritized sectors that fit very well with what we've been talking about earlier. The first one is biotech. The second one is green tech, and the third one is deep tech. We know biotech it's a deep tech, but we treat it differently because it's like it needs like different times and for the companies to grow. Please, Sebastian, it's my assistant to go through the presentation. The next one, Sarah.
Yes, let me see. What did
I have a very good assistant.
Yes, no, not very good.
No, but before continuing, maybe I can explain you a little bit what the difference between Uruguay 21 and what we do. Because Uruguay 21, it's the main agency to promote investments and to the exports. But when you double click in innovation, there we come. And we are, as I said, a national programs that works along with many other agencies in the government and with the academia and incubators and the technological parks and the corporates. So we are like an umbrella of all the innovation that happening in the country. And the way we do it, it's we test, we accelerate, we finance, and we connect. That's what we do. This is like our 4 main objectives. In terms of testing, what we do, we have like an open lab network that are spaces to promote open innovation, facilitating technologies or equipment to lower the barriers that an entrepreneur has to test or to do their proof of concepts or prototypes. So we have there the Microsoft AI Co-Innovation Lab, which is the first one in Latin America in Spanish. It was the 3rd one outside the US, and it's an honor for us to have this lab. It offers like free sprints for companies to do their pilots. We have New Lab, which is an American company here for open innovation, and it helps companies to have open calls for open innovation and to help Uruguayan startups to apply to open innovation studios from abroad, and also to attract startups from abroad to come to Uruguay to those innovation studios. Also, we have Antel Open Digital Lab, which is a 5G lab. We have also the IBM AI Build Lab for B2B companies. And we have 2 log tech labs, which are Technolog and The Box. In terms of acceleration, we know we have 2 agencies from the government called ANI and ANDE that help in seed capital and validation of ideas. What we are doing now is to help startups to accelerate and to grow. And that's why we did an open call for an acceleration program. Our crowd from Israel with a local incubator called Ingenio from LATU and a private university, ORT, as well with Manatech from Miami, made a consortium, and they are running this acceleration program, which aims to promote startups to go abroad, to have finance. We co-invest with them in the startups that go along with this program. We have another company builder program in biotech, which is run by Gridex from Argentina and Ategen, which is a co-bio lab in Uruguay. They are helping Uruguayan biotech companies to grow, and also companies from abroad that wants to come to Uruguay, not Uruguay as a destiny, but Uruguay as a place from where to grow to the region or to the world. So with this company builder program, we will co-invest with them in the enterprises that go along this program. For those companies that doesn't need acceleration or already did acceleration in another program, we have matching funds. That is a co-invest venture with venture capitalist organization or also angel investors in early stage technological based or scientific and technological startups. What we do here is we co-invest with funds that we trust that go through a technological evaluation. So we don't evaluate the startup or the idea or the team or the proof of concept. What we do is we evaluate the fund, their track record, if they put smart money into the startup, and if they are trusted, we go along with them. The only thing we ask is that the startup should be in one of our 3 verticals, as I mentioned, deep tech, biotech, or green tech. And if they fit their condition, we co-invest with them tickets between $75 and $500 in a convertible note. So this is open for funds from abroad, for funds from the region, and also for Uruguayan startups, but also for startups from abroad that need to meet the condition to have some substance in Uruguay within the next 24 months. I mean, it's not a condition that need to be fit in at the beginning. It can be fit at the next 24 months. So the startup has time to establish in Uruguay, to open a society here. Okay. The fourth objective we have is to connect, and that's why we have an innovation campus, which is a very new building that we have, and it's like a platform to promote the community with an agenda of many activities in different topics. We organize events, but also we give the space to the community to organize their events. As Sebastian and Carolina mentioned, we signed an MOU with the Nordic Chamber, and we are planning many activities. One of them, I don't know if Carolina was about to tell, but for example, next year, the Nordic Chamber is planning an event in construction housing for sustainability, and the focus will be in innovation, and we will co-organize it with them, seeking in technological for housing. And we know that the Nordic countries are very important in that field. So for sure, it will be a very good event. So our innovation campus, it has a co-working space open for soft landing for companies from abroad that, for example, they come to Uruguay, and the first 2 months they can establish in our campus, and to then decide whether they want to go to Punta del Este, or they want to go to a free trade zone, or in the middle of the old city. So it's a place like to help them to establish, and that's why our Uruguay 21 also plays a role, because they go along with the company, and they recommend whatever they need to establish in the country. As I said, we have events, we have open innovation opportunity, and when a good place to have a coffee and to have a meeting with a fund or with a startup or whatever it is. In terms of internalization, that's where we play a very good society with Uruguay 21. When Uruguay 21 goes to a mission or goes outside the country, we go with them. And when we double click in innovation, there we are. We did many missions to countries together. And we also help the companies to get a good agenda where they go. So we have signed many MOUs with other innovation ecosystems from abroad, from Spain, from Berlin, from Brazil, from the States, and we are planning to do many more, because we see the importance of getting along with innovation ecosystems from abroad. That helps our companies when they want to go outside. They have like someone to call and someone to receive them and to help them enter a new market. And finally, this is APEP, which is an American initiative to American Partnership Investor Networks. This is an initiative that the Biden administration started with 12 countries from Latin America that wants to seeks the inclusion and the prosperity of all LATAM. It has many groups in different fields, and one of them is entrepreneurs. And Uruguay is leading a network of investors, and we are playing an important role there. And also, it's the way Uruguay, because Uruguay gives the certainty for investors that is needed in this field. And that's the end of my presentation, and I leave you, Sebastian, again.
Thank you, Sabri. Well, the last 5 minutes of the presentation. Are you hearing me? Yes. Yes. Well, quality of life, Montevideo ranks first in the region as well. Very important for expats coming here, or as Sabrina was mentioning, many startups wanting to settle here and come here and afford. And for last, I will talk about the benefits we have here. There's a picture of Zona America, free trade zone nearby Montevideo. And this is a picture of all the investment incentives we have in Uruguay. I always say that the best thing of this picture, it's not only the temporary admission, the free ports law, the software law, the free trade zone, because every country may give you some incentives or not. For me, in my opinion, the best thing of this picture is that all this legislation has more than 30 years old. All different political parties have been in office, and this is a state policy that remains and continues. So that's the certainties the investment are finding here. Temporary admission, for instance, Nestlé. We are exporting coffee from Uruguay. We do not produce a single grain of coffee here, but we are producing Starbucks coffee from Uruguay in boxes for retailers in the region. We may import in temporary admission the green coffee, melt it here, do the receipts, package it, and re-exporting. Free ports and airports. Free airports since 1992 have this law. Okay, all goods going through a port or an airport are paying no duty taxes and may stay there as a regional stock, paying no duty taxes, as I mentioned. I mentioned before the AstraZeneca case, but there are much more of that. AstraZeneca will bring their medicines from Europe here into the port or airport, put it into a truck and send it to Brazil and the rest of the region, gaining something like 20 days in transit time, much more efficient with the infrastructure top of the line, let's say. Software law since the 2000s, something like that. Exports of software, it's exempted as well. The trading, many companies using Uruguay as for doing trading here, operation here, buying from China and selling into Finland, for instance. The profit here will pay only 0.75% of income tax for companies. That's why it's very well used. This investment promotion law since 1996, we have it, and up to 100% of exceptions for income tax and duties. Okay, if a project I have, which is located, the place located, how many people we are hiring, if we are doing R&D, we are using clean technology, and some different, let's say, bonuses we may apply for up to 100% of income deductions in the future. So you may invest $10 million, and we may have this exception for the $10 million in the future, no paying income taxes. Okay, that's very objective. That's a web page where to see your project. And finally, this free trade zone law. Since 1987, we have this new free trade zone law for distribution center, for industries, for services, or mixed models. Okay, very well used. We are providing services and manufacturing. Well, the pulp mills we have from Nordic investments are located in free trade zones, very well used, accepted by OECD, no problem at all. So that's a picture of our benefits. Again, some examples of companies using Uruguay as a hub, both for services or sustainable production, as I mentioned. Here, for you to know, we have this investment opportunities portfolio, where you may find companies in distress, greenfield projects, companies willing for financing, whatever, where investors may register there in this platform and see those projects we have. Right now, we have more than 60 investment opportunities there. So, well, Uruguay 21 as Business Finland or Business Sweden, well, we have everything the investor may need to get here. The sub-landing, we work together with the chambers, we work together with Uruguay Innovation Hub and many other organizations. And sorry if it took us a lot of time, our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sebastián, Sabrina. That was brilliant. Thank you. Well, so we still have 6 minutes for some exchange. If anybody has any questions, any comments about this. I would like also to thank the presence of the European Union in Uruguay who's present. I don't know, questions for Jesper, questions for Pia, Sabrina, or Sebastián? Well, if there's no further comments, I think that the invitation is to continue this. We have just had a glimpse of what the areas of coincidence can be. The invitation is to spread the word within Business Finland, within Business Sweden, and the companies which are associated with them, to spread the word about these opportunities that Sabrina and Sebastián have presented so clearly. Also, please propose some further encounters with maybe business sectors, organizations, or specific companies that might be interested. We always have an open agenda to receive you, to connect you. The good thing about Uruguay is it's a very small country that everybody knows everybody, so you're just a phone call away from whoever you need to meet. So that's also an invitation we leave for you. Also, if you wish to have some other ideas for visits, either visits from Nordic companies, delegations, or whatever, please contact us and we can jointly organize something for you. And also, as Pia was mentioning, some events that I already took note, like the one in Sao Paulo in May. Please, if you do have information about events that can be of interest for the Chamber or for Uruguay 21 or for Uruguay Innovation Hub, please let us know, and we'll also help you spread the word and connect people further. As you can note, Uruguayans are always working with Uruguay 21 and Uruguay Innovation Hub, even if we don't work there, because we feel very strongly about how Uruguay can be a space for growth for different companies, especially the ones that we are looking for investors that have quality investments to offer. And by quality, we mean seriousness, we mean scalability, we mean decent jobs, we mean protection of the environment, and care for the people. So this is something we already know because of the investments we already have, but so we know we are open for more. I would like to thank you all. Thank you, especially the speakers. who brought this, and let's hope that this is just a first step into much more business coming about and all the benefits, the mutual benefits from these businesses. Okay. So thank you and
Thank you very
bye-bye.
much.
Muchas gracias.
you very
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.